Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode. Actually, the very first episode of Good Morning Gotham. Anyway, good morning to everyone that's with us live. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa, and my co-host is...
You already know what it is, baby. You already know what it is, man. It's the AKA Master right here, baby. AKA J Marbles, AKA Mr. Mumbles, AKA Stutter, AKA Russian Doll inside the Russian Doll, inside the Russian Doll, inside the other Russian Doll, AKA you already know what I'm talking about. And to acknowledge last night's horror hour, AKA Linda Blair, the man version, Fred Astaire. I'll take off my hat, but I got no hair. Let's get busy, bro. Let's do this.
All right, so for everyone out there, this is going to be a show that's not every Saturday in the morning. It's going to be every 2 weeks. Jimmy needs his rest because he comes out of these 16-hour shifts. You can see he looks butt-ass tired. So I'm tired, too, putting all these shows together. So with that said, Jake, give everyone what they're going to get with Good Morning Gotham.
Man, listen, man. I've been doing a little research, and I was watching some of the older shows that you put together, and they were great shows. Comic books, and you had the superhero spotlights and things of that nature. But we're gonna take this to the next level, man. Anything that is DC. I'm talking about comic books. I'm talking about graphic novels. I'm talking about lore. I'm talking about regular books. I'm talking about prints, fan art, posters, postcards, TV shows, movies, fan-based movies, animated series, cosplay, game, rumors, trailers, fan favorites, unknown heroes, indie artists, special guests, SMEs, which is special matter experts, or whatever the SME stands for, a subject matter experts that people that actually know what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
We're talking about cards, collectible card games. We have my man right here. I don't know if you can see him in the background. He should be right over here.
Yeah, you got it. There you go, back clown.
That's right. That's the Mischief, the back clown. We're going to talk about toys. Retro toys, and then some nostalgic memories. So we're going to talk about everything, man. Anything that has to do with DC. If we see a car in the street, we're going to stop them, and we're going to, hijack it, and we're going to show that too. So, that's what we do. We're doing it, man. We're doing everything DC. So if you want DC, you came into the right place.
Yeah, so we're going to bring, and again, this is for every beginner all the way up to veterans. So if you guys don't know nothing about DC, don't worry about it, because I'm going to break it down as best as possible for you guys out there. Jonathan McCoy, GMG, good morning to you too, my friend. Let's say what's up to everyone that's alive with us. Jessica Cologne, how you doing? TransformerCon, what's up, man? Samuel Cologne, how you doing? CB with the hood 24B, all right.
That's my man C Boogie with the hoodie on, baby.
There you go, C Boogie with the hoodie. How you doing? Tony Movie Chappie, what's up? Bronx Lenny, of course, that's you. And Tony Movie Chappie. So thank you for joining in. All right, so let's have some fun. So today's episode, we broke down some stuff. Jimmy's going to talk about the comic book that we're going to be breaking down for this month. Of course, we're going to have a comic book club, but we're going to start off with a famous graphic novel, one of those big ones for Batman. So go ahead, Jim, talk about it.
Well, we're gonna be tackling Batman Hush, right?
The Hush
graphic novel, and excuse me, that's my drink. You already know how I drink in the morning, kid. I drink all the time, man. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just gonna tell you how it is. I got my special drink today. I gotta have the special drink. We talked about this the last time. Mm-hmm. This is for everybody that's out there. It's called the Boy Wonder. Cookies, baby. Milk and
cookies. There you have it. We got the Boy Wonder. Oh, my God. You really brought out the Boy Wonder.
I had to. Anyway, Batman Hush. So this is actually a 12 chapter graphic novel. And we're doing the 6 and 6. I don't want to give too much about it. That Alex just put up the other graphic. That's the first edition cover, and then this one is the reprint. So it's the same thing, same story. Jim Lee is the penciler. So if you know anything about DC and just artists by themselves, Jim Lee is excellent. He's an excellent penciler. And you can see that throughout this whole comic book. I don't want to give anything away right now because we still have another 6 chapters. So we're just basically going to discuss what I saw as far as the how did it read? Is it easy to read? Is it easy to understand? It's a comic book, so it should be easy. But sometimes, some of these graphic novels get a little bit extra. So things of that nature. So I don't know if I want to say a little something about what his experience was with this, or.
No, I mean, with me, it's an excellent comic book. But we're gonna tackle Hush, chapter 1 through 6, in the second episode of the show. This episode is just pretty much giving you guys the origins of the show. What are you gonna expect from it? What the experience is gonna be like when Comic-Con comes out. Of course, we're gonna have footage from Comic-Con because I always go to it. Well, let's see what happens this year with this whole pandemic. If they're even gonna open up the Javits Center to the people for that stuff. So we'll find out whenever they have it. Of course, we're going to have footage and photos and anything DC related. So let's get right into the actual movies, because next week is a pretty big week in the DC fandom and the DC films. Technically, it's the first superhero show of the year, right? Movie of the year, because there was no Marvel besides the TV show WandaVision and all the TV show that's coming out on DC Plus on Disney Plus. Now, Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming out Thursday, the 18th. Thursday or Friday? It's too early in the morning to remember which day they dropping. But
this week, bro.
Yeah, this week, Zack Snyder is dropping the Justice League. Yeah. So, what are you interested in it? Are you ready for it?
Man, I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped. I'm so hyped. I'm like, I feel like Speedy Gonzalez, which just got canceled. That Speedy Gonzalez on some acid with 2 cups of coffee, a couple of no doses, 25-hour energies, hype like that. I'm ready to see this, man.
Yeah.
We did a little review. We did a review of the movies that led up to this, and we're definitely gonna look at the Justice League that came out prior to this and see what how good Zack Snyder's version is. And I'm gonna be honest with you, we know he's gonna blow it out the water. So I have nothing but my expectations are high for this one.
Yeah.
And so I'm ready to go, man.
All right, so here we go. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna take this all the way back. We're gonna first start off with the Man of Steel, the first appearance of Superman on screen since Brandon Roth in 2006. Superman Returns. So Superman came back to the screen with Henry Cavill as the Man of Steel, that's the film Zack Snyder, the first one that launched the DCEU universe. So before we throw up our scores, we're just going to talk about after the rewatch, because I saw this yesterday, and then Jimmy saw it throughout the week. So Jim, what was your initial reaction before giving any scores? We'll give that afterwards. But what was your reaction when you first saw it?
When I first saw the Man of Steel, I didn't like it.
Okay.
I didn't like it. And I'm gonna tell you why I didn't like it. And even after I watched it maybe like another 2 or 3 more times after that, just to give it a fair shot. Because sometimes when I watch a movie, I watch it like 4 minutes in and then I fall asleep. So I think that's the reason why I didn't like it the first time. I think I fell asleep right away and that was it. But I was able to sit down and really give it a fair shot. This movie breaks down into 2 parts, right? So it's kind of like first half, second half. And I don't know if you wanted me to talk about that in particular, but I think that that's the reason why my scores were the way they were. I think that the origin of Superman has been done a lot of times.
Yeah.
So people know who Superman is. They know where he came from. It's been done. Christopher Reeve did it. In Smallville. This one again. So it's like to the point where like they spent a lot of time, doing this movie. And this movie was 2 hours and 22 minutes.
Yeah.
And half of it was origin of Superman. Like you could ask my kids, and my kids, 18, one was 18, the other one is 20 years old. And they know the story of Superman.
Right.
Like they know because like when they were in my testicles, like they were playing that. They were watching it and they were like, oh, and that's the reason why they won. You're slow right here. Woo, over your head. Right? But that's, you don't have to redo that. They could have done that in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So, that's the reason why I didn't like it as much.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw this in 2013, I was just pulling up information while you were explaining it, so at least I got the date, the years these things came out. So 2013, Man of Steel dropped. I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't too big of a fan. This one took me multiple viewings for me to enjoy it more. But after watching it yesterday, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good movie, and I know what you're talking about with the origins and everything. The thing that this one I liked about it, Zack Snyder did something different, that he put it in a real world situation. It wasn't like that comic book, Avenger style, where it's just, you know what I mean, like colorful and it's okay to have superhero and people okay with it. This one's kind of totally a 360. What happens if an alien is amongst us? How the human is gonna take it and all that. And I liked it. I thought it was really cool. Now the destructions of the cities and everything, I was like, holy crap, this is super dark. Like, this is a dark Superman. Like I said, it took multiple viewings for me to enjoy, but I really liked it. After watching it yesterday, I was like, all right, this is a really good movie. I think it's one of the top 3 for me in out of the entire universe of the films that came out. Man of Steel has to be one of the best ones in terms of story and visually. I thought it was pretty good. And Russell Crowe as his dad was amazing. I was like, holy crap. Joel as Russell Crowe, I was like, holy crap, this is really good. Because the last time we got him on screen was Marlon Brando with the Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves,
yeah. So I thought that was I thought he was pretty good. But what did you think of General Zod?
Zod was a reactive villain, and what I mean by that is, like, you ever had a supervisor? He's a supervisor, right? Yeah. But like, he's not a good supervisor. Like, the only reason why he can get anything done is because he is a supervisor. So I'll give you an example, right? So at the beginning of the movie, he fights Superman's dad, right? And
yeah.
And he's getting his butt whooped. He's getting his butt whooped. And then at one point, Lady Laura just pressed send. Like, she just pressed send on the joint, sends Superman to Earth. And he gets pissed off, and he brings out a knife. Like, listen, I'm Puerto Rican. That knife would have came out right away, like right away.
Yeah.
He brings a knife out and then kills them.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have taken a beating that way. Like, I would not have gotten whooped like that.
Yeah.
Like, if I had the knife, and that knife was pretty dope. It was,
yeah, it was like a long needle.
So it was like he was very reactive. He almost like it's like he had goals but no plan. Like, he would be like, oh wow, let me do this now. You know what I mean? So I didn't enjoy him as a villain. He looks like when the Hulk powers down. He looks like the Hulk.
Bruce Banner.
Yeah, he looks like, like the Hulk coming backwards. You know what I mean? Like, Benjamin Button Hulk. Going backwards.
Yeah.
And so I didn't enjoy him too well. Like, I didn't enjoy him. He was, and then he overreacted also. Like, I think not reacted. He overacted like certain parts. Like, when he got yoked up, he would look at the camera. He would be like.
Yeah.
So I think that I wasn't. So the one thing I look for a villain is he believable? See, I could say that Superman as a hero was believable. Like, he was a hero. He was believable as Superman. He was believable as being in love with Lois Lane. He was believable as being a son. And even at the very end when he gets pissed off because he, I don't want to.
Everyone's sorry. It's 2013. Everyone's sorry.
When he breaks Zod's neck and he just yells, like, that was a believable scream. Like, it was like, I enjoyed the hero in this movie. I enjoy Superman. I mean, and this is my review for the ladies. This one right here is for the ladies, right? This dude he's long and strong, right? And he's big and he's also tall. So I'm just saying, this dude did a good job being Superman. Yeah, that's a beautiful man. He gets at least. Dude. Yeah, I mean, no funny business, but he definitely is a good looking dude.
No, he is super. When you think of Superman, that's who you see. I mean, even if they recast him, everyone's gonna compare him.
I hope not, man. I hope not.
But that's something we'll tackle in future episodes because there's a lot of rumorville coming out with a different version of Superman without Henry Cavill. So that's gonna be an interesting story. But in terms of General Zod, I liked him. I thought he was, to me, I felt like he was believable. He didn't want to kill Jor-El because they were kind of close. I mean, they were really close. And he was like, my man, he was enjoying me or feel, or be a prisoner. But he just, I mean, he got really angry. And then he got tough when he was talking to Superman because he didn't get that tough when he was talking to the moms or nothing. Because when he talked to his son, he was just like, yeah, I killed your dad. But he was all tied up and he lost his powers because he knew Superman was going to whoop it. But, Nicolas Cage as Superman. That's what Michael Guzman said. Oh wait, he just brought up somebody that. Oh boy. Oh no.
I hate Nicolas Cage. I don't know what it is. Like I don't have any reason to hate him.
I know,
but I do. Like my nephew, my baby nephew, when he sees flowers, he beats the crap out of the flowers. I don't know why he does it, but that's the way I feel like about Nicolas Cage. Like, I want to beat the crap out of Nicolas Cage like he was flowers.
Yeah. Well, all right, so let's throw up the scores, and then we explain why we picked the numbers, what we did. So the way we're going to break these down is the same as we do our action movie podcast between me and Nate. Me and Jimmy are going to do the same things with the DC animations, TV shows, even the featured films. So they're going to be hero, villains, action scenes, storyline, overall total points, and then there you have it. So with that said, now these are the scores that me and Jimmy gave Man of Steel. So check it out. And I whipped this up pretty quick, but it came out pretty nice. So with that said, let's explain these scores because they're really different, and that's what I like about it. It's a totally different, and that's the thing I like about when you're discussing movies with someone. Everyone has a different opinion on the movies. So with that said, I gave Henry Cavill a 5 for Superman because I mean he embodied Clark Kent, he embodied Superman. The only thing he had that like I'm about to throw a fart look. Like the whole time, like he just looked like mad, like stone face. But again, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. General Zod, I gave him a 5. I thought he was really good. But you're right though. I wish they never killed him, but there was no way they could contain him because it was over. He took away Krypton. It was done. He was gonna kill everyone in his path. So, but with that said, the action sequences, I thought they were really well done. In terms of him battling the general, and the thing I like about the action sequences is the fact that Superman was actually getting his ass whooped because these people were warriors, and you saw it. Each of them had their different fighting styles. Between his second lieutenant, she had a different fighting style from General Zod, and then Superman had that brute, like I'm just punching, grabbing, throwing, because he's not a warrior. Like these guys were trained, but his father threw down. Jor-El knew how to fight. Yeah. He was just like, yeah, I'm a whoop ass, but and that's the thing that I was laughing. I was like, wait a minute. Out of all the stuff that you put in the damn crystal, you didn't put fighting? You couldn't teach your son how to fight like a Kryptonian? Like you put knowledge, you put cooking, you put, like, how your suits and where the sun you get your power, but not fighting.
How to eat a mountain because he ate a mountain early in the movie. He ate a whole mountain, bro. Yo,
yeah.
I'll get to that in a little while because that made me a little bit.
Yeah, he did. All right, so storyline, I thought it was all right. I gave it a 4.5. It was enjoyable for what it was. It was an origin. I thought it was going to set up a part 2. We never got a Man of Steel part 2. Overall, I gave it a 4. I thought it was a good entry to the DCEU universe. For total points of 23.5. So go ahead, Jimmy, break down why you gave those scores, what you did.
Well, the hero, I already talked about Superman.
Yeah, you already talked about that, yeah.
Believable. The villain, the action scenes, I gave it a 3.5. Now, you're going to say, you're crazy. Why such a low score? Well, this is why. When the action came, right, like I said, I broke this movie down into 2 parts. The origin, right, which it had about 2.5 action scenes that were like, and that was in the first hour and 13 minutes. And then from an hour and 13, so if you want to watch the movie for action and you want to get a 5, watch it after an hour and 13 minutes. Because between an hour and 13 minutes and 2 hours and 12 minutes, dude, is action nonstop. Everything is nonstop. So I had to break it down. Like, it just, I could have gave it a 5. But the fact that the beginning was just a little bit like dragging of a story that we already know, I couldn't give it a 5. So I broke it down. But again, if you want to watch, you know what? I got an hour. What is it? An hour, 59 minutes. So I got 59 minutes to kill today. Throw that movie on from an hour and 13 minutes, and you're gonna enjoy the hell out of Superman Man of Steel. It's fighting, it's it's storytelling, it's pretty much there's like a Matrix moment where like Superman's that listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm bad with names, and I'm
It's all
even
right.
worse with other things. Superman's dad was like, telling Lois Lane, go to the left, go to the right, duck, duck,
Yeah.
Neo, duck. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you had that kind of, but again, that was suspenseful because she, you know, it was something that you were into it. You were like, I felt myself trying to like duck too and like trying to go left and right with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The final fight, like I can't say nothing about this. This movie was a beautiful movie. I loved the color tones. I loved the sound. I loved, but again, it's an 18 just because there were certain things that again, if I go based on that, this movie, I could tell you this movie is a 25. It's not. To me, it was an 18 because of that reason. The story, again, the fact that they had Russell Crowe, Diane Lane, Kevin Costner, those are all people that, like, when I was watching movies religiously, going to the movie theaters when I was younger, these are people that I looked, as far as like, oh man, this person's in this movie, dope. You know what I mean? So the story, I gave that what I got here, 3.
Yeah.
And again, because I didn't need to see an hour of origin of Superman. I know what it is. And although it was done very nicely because they kind of like intertwine like his childhood and then like him growing up and then his not just him growing him being as trying to figure out who he was and then going back to being a kid, and they kind of kept going back and forth. I think that was just kind of played out for me. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and then the total of 18, you gave the entire. But yeah, I mean, and that's something. I mean, I didn't get to tackle was Diane Lane and Kevin Costner. They were really good as the Kents. They were really believable as his parents, and I thought those were really 2 good choices to be those parents. So let me go to the chat and let's see what you guys are saying about Man of Steel here. All right, so here we go. We got Michael Guzman. He said, fresh take on an old story. Tony, Transformicon said the action was just too much for me. The end battle gave me a headache. I could see that. I could totally see that. I knew a lot of people were talking about that. The special effects were very heavy towards the end, which they were. All the explosions, buildings crashing. And then you thought the fighting ended, and then it continued into another fight when it was just now him and General Zod, which I thought it was a little bit way too long. But all right, so here we go. Jessica Cologne said Nicolas Cage, yuck. She put the emoji.
Yeah, that's my cousin right there. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yeah, let me see. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Oh, Samuel Cologne says, I think it was a great remake. Love the struggle of the love of his people on planet Earth. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about this is that this origin story was a little bit different from the prior ones because he had conflict. Like, it was, does he bring back Krypton on Earth, or does he, how crappy Earth was, he was like, this is his people now. Like, he didn't know what Kryptons, and he doesn't even know their ultimate goal. Once they find out that they could fly, they got superpowers, and just like General Zod, he was like, no, this is not happening. Like, we're not gonna, And I love that scene that he's in the ship, and he goes, God, don't do it. The people is in and then he just burns the whole thing down. I was like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yes. Like, that was awesome. But all right. Now,
real quick before I forget, at the beginning of the movie, right now we talked about cancel culture the other night, but we had our first, even in Krypton, there's Karens, right? Because when Zod came in, when he comes in, he kills all the soldiers, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt that he killed the soldiers, right? So he's going through his spiel, whatever, and then the lawmaker, the lady lawmaker, so I'm gonna call her the Karen.
The old people, yeah.
She's the Karen. She was definitely the Karen because she was like, under whose authority, yo? When he shot her, and her helmet went this way and her body went the other way, yo, I was laughing for like 50 minutes, yo. I was laughing. I had tears in my eyes, and I was like, oh my god, like under what spell would you believe that you can just being a lawmaker that you were not going to get shot the way the soldiers who had guns, I'm like, oh my god.
He disintegrated her. And that's the crazy thing. He turned her into dust.
I laughed. I probably watched that scene. I watched that scene like 25 times.
Yeah, that was a funny scene. And then the other one that I always laugh, and it's not even a laughing moment, is the one that when they're in the barn, right? And the kid looks at Kevin Costner, and he goes, "Am I your son?" He goes, "You always my son." And I was like, this is like, that it always makes me laugh. He's like, "Of course you my son." And I was like, what is going on here? This is like a nice moment, and I'm laughing my ass off because it's just, it was just a funny scene with that. Samuel says, letting one race do to preserve another, that cry in the end was a testimony to his struggle. Yeah, well, because he killed the last Kryptonian that he knew. But that scene,
that believable. I was like, I was like, yeah, that was it. If I didn't believe that he was Superman at that point, I was like, yo, this guy did a good job.
Yeah, that death scene. Look, remember it because we're gonna bring it back for the Justice League towards the end because something happened when he snapped that neck. That's gonna come back in Justice League, and we're gonna talk about it. I don't know if you knew what happens when he cracks that neck. Something happens afterwards. I don't know if you picked it up when you were watching it. But, all right, so let's get to the next one. Because the next one was a very highly controversial movie. And it's the 2016 Batman v Superman. Now, this is very highly controversial. This is the movie that everyone talked about till now. The big famous scene, Martha, is what killed it for everybody. To me, after watching it yesterday, I could give two craps. I kind of understand why they did what they did, but to a lot of people, it's just one of those funny moments in comic book, I guess, film history, if you want to say. But with that said, Jim, what was your initial reaction when you saw Batman v Superman? And everyone in the chat, also, please put down your first initial reactions when you saw these two go head to head.
Listen. Like, it was controversial to me, but it had nothing to do with the whole Martha at the end. Yeah. It was controversial because I am a Walking Dead fan.
Okay.
And listen, hear me out. And Bruce Wayne's dad was Negan from Walking Dead, and his mom was Maggie from Walking Dead. And we all know that Negan beat the hell out of Glenn, which is Maggie's husband. So there should have been a fight there. That's what that was the controversy. Like, how do you have these two people on the same screen? Yeah. I was like, there's no way that they have. That was the controversy. Anyway, I digress. So, what did I think about this? Well, again, Batman versus Superman, right? That's what this movie was about. When we watch, and Hollywood does this all the time, and it makes me so angry because they sell it because you like want to see it. I want to see Batman versus Superman, right? And it took a little bit of time to get to that point, but it wasn't enough Batman versus Superman.
Right.
I think that here they introduced Batman, obviously, and Wonder Woman as the heroes. Again, you know, what's her name?
Gal Gadot.
Yeah. Gadot.
Gadot.
She is Gadot. Is it French? Is it Gadouche? Gadot.
No, yeah, Gal Gadot. I call her Gadot. Whatever. You know who she is. Gail.
Yeah, I mean, she's beautiful, right? Yeah. And I don't want to get into the whole thing, but like Hollywood makes these there's not a lot of women actresses that little girls could look up to as being heroines, right? Or heroines, right? So they make this, they get this perfect, woman, no makeup needed, tall, zero body fat. And, I mean, that's Wonder Woman, right? I mean, I like they got to have a little bit of carne. I'm saying they should have just have a Wonder Woman with some carne on, you know what I mean? A little bit of meat, just a little bit of meat. Just put her in there with some carne, anyway. So, but still, as a Wonder Woman, she was great. Superman, we already talked about him. And Ben Affleck, man, I don't know why this guy was not Batman forever. Like, like this guy, he looked the part, but I guess I know why. I mean, he got older. This was a time for him to do it.
Yeah. He's
older. He has a little bit of carne also. He's a little bit older. He's, you can see it in his face. He almost looks worn. He almost looks like he's Batman for real.
Yeah.
Like he actually stays out late at night and like, tries to fight crime in the block, The villain, we're going to talk about that a little bit. The action, uh, I don't know, man. The action on this one was sporadic, and the story I thought was a good story, and overall I thought it was all right. But I'll give you my breakdown on the scores, as we.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, well, look, when I saw this movie, I was like, damn, another origin, because we got Batman's origin, and then it was like, and the thing about this movie that I enjoyed a lot more was the fact that it continued from Man of Steel. I love the first 30 minutes when Bruce Wayne lands in Metropolis and he's going straight to the danger when Superman is finding Zog and buildings are falling and he's like, Jack! And he's like running towards Dane. I'm like, buildings are collapsing. This dude's trying to save this one dude that he grew up with, I guess, when he was a kid. And to me, that is right there. I was like, this is kicking off the movie. I was like, this is awesome. You're right. Ben Affleck to me is the best Batman to put on the cowl. And he's the believable Bruce Wayne and Batman, and we never got that in the movies. Everyone could say Michael Keaton, but Michael Keaton was not, to me, a believable Bruce Wayne, where he was more believable as Batman. He had that look, that you know what I mean, like that Dark Knight look. Christian Bale looked more believable as Bruce Wayne, but hell no, he is not Batman. The dude couldn't fight martial arts. The dude had a stupid voice, and I'm like, how the hell the next day you don't have a groggy voice? Like made no damn sense.
Like if you fight it like this,
yeah.
Like if you're in third grade with the pinky out,
yeah.
Like that's not a good fighting.
Yeah,
style.
you're not a good fight. So I was like, all right, I'm not with that. To me, Val Kilmer as Batman, he was good as Bruce Wayne, and I thought he was a decent as Batman also. I thought he was believable, but again, that script was kind of doo-doo. George Clooney was just straight garbage. But Ben Affleck embodied that older brute Batman, and then his fighting, I was like, holy crap, we never even got this type of Batman on screen before, and I thought it was great. I was like, this is cool. Henry Cavill, I mean, what performance can he do? He was just great in the suit. Gail Gadot as Wonder Woman, you're right.
Beautiful.
She's great. Zack Snyder knows his characters, because when rewatching this, I was like, this action was way better than WW84 fighting scenes. Like, those fighting scenes were god awful compared to this movie. Like, he knew she had her sword, she was fighting, she was more like, I'm gonna go beat your ass instead. I don't know, I mean, that's a different one. We'll cover that on another thing. But Lex Luthor, I did not like Lex Luthor. I was not a fan of Jesse Eisenberg or whatever his name is. I did not like him. I think they should have went with an older version of Lex, if you know what I mean, and then bring back Gene Hackman as his dad. That would have been awesome if they brought his father as Gene Hackman, because he was the original Lex Luthor in the Superman movies, and then Lex is I feel like Jesse Eisenberg did not play Lex Luthor the way we all envisioned him to be, that mastermind. He was quirky. I was like, what the hell? I was like, how is this guy a mastermind? He did do some mastermind things, but it was just certain things that I was just like, Like, I'd rather have the guy from Smallville again. He's young. You know what I mean? He was Lex Luthor. He was evil. He knows the character. Why not bring him back? But anyway, that's another different story. But let me see what everyone's saying here in the chat, and then we're going to whip out our scores. Michael Guzman says, I'm okay with it as long as there is no part 2. All right. Transformer Con says, the Ultimate Edition is a little better, but not by much. Okay. Michael says it was okay. They just need to remake it without Batflick. Oh, he doesn't like Batflick. Okay. C-Boy in the Hood says it's a goat flick. Let's not get it twisted. Yeah. Jose says Michael Keaton was the best Batman. Okay. Jay Manley says Jason Eisenberg did not work out as Lex Luthor for me. Samuel says, yes, Ben was the best Batman, but got so much slack for playing the role. Nope, Lex Luthor was the worst cast. I'd rather see an actor playing Professor X. Oh, I'd rather see okay, so what's his name? McCoy? James McCoy? The one who plays the young Professor X? Actually, he would be pretty good, too. He's a great actor. All right, so let's put up our scores. And then Jim is going to break down why he gave what he did. Because this is totally 360 from Man of Steel. So, and we're close. Because you don't know my scores. So, this is actually pretty close by half a point. So, go ahead, Jim, break it down.
funny thing is that actually I like well villains. I think in this case I
Yeah.
believe there was 4 villains, right?
Yeah.
You have the Russian, right? He
His
was
henchman.
hired. He was the
Mhm.
henchman,
Mhm.
right? And he did play a part as far as as a bad guy. You had Doomsday, which
Uh-oh.
Lex Luthor had to kind of build him up to be, because he couldn't beat up Superman, so he had to get someone to try to do it for him, right?
Yeah.
You had Batman again. I believe Batman was a bad guy because he was being misled and being manipulated by Lex Luthor. I actually like Lex Luthor. I believe this character to be the villain. Um, I watched it a few times because I was like, okay, I don't understand this, whatever. It's one of those you don't have to watch it a few times. I'm just older and I'm just, I gotta sometimes like look at it a few times, right?
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed them. I gave the villain a 5, and that's because they were, it was just not just one person for me. It was 4 villains.
Yeah.
Action scenes again, they were sporadic. When they actually fight Batman versus Superman, it was a 7-minute fight. But Batman hit Superman with the kitchen sink. He hit him with the coup de grace. He had him with the Cesaro swing. Like if you're into wrestling, he hit him with every wrestling move possible. When he finally put the kryptonite bullet in his face,
Yeah.
like, and I was like, wow, like this dude beat him down, and I wanted to see more of that. Like they should have made it a little bit more of a, he threw him down 10 flights of stairs. I mean 10 flights from to the ground, and then he just dragged him with a rope.
Yeah, he did.
Man.
Yeah.
And another thing, how many times did Lois Lane fall like within those 2 movies? Like she fell a lot of times. Superman had to keep rescuing this chick.
Yeah. That's how Lex Luthor figured out that that's his weakness. I was like, man, that's something I wanted to talk to you about, but we'll talk about it once we finish our score. Because I want to see your because there was stuff about this, like these 2 movies that I was a little lost. But go ahead, finish your thought.
Yeah, so the main action scenes, right? So you have there was 3 big action scenes. One was 7 minutes, the other one was 3 minutes, and then the final one was 18 minutes. 18 minutes. So you figure in total you have maybe what, I don't even know what that is, but this was a 3 hour and 2 minute movie, and for you to have like 26 minutes of actual action for a Batman versus Superman, like Hollywood did it to me again.
Yeah.
Right? They tricked me. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna see this fight. There's gonna be some stuff. Earrings are coming off, Vaseline, all that. I was waiting for all that to happen. It didn't happen, man. It didn't happen. It was lackluster as far as the Batman versus Superman. As far as the story, I like the story. We get introduced to the parademons in this one. In an hour and 16 minutes, and I always look for this, and this is one of my favorite things to do because it happens. There is a folklore that directors they put in the Wilhelm scream. I don't know if you know what the Wilhelm scream is. Anybody? That was invented, not invented, but that was a movie back in early cinema. That yell was funny to directors. So directors started hiding that in movies. You see that in Star Wars, you see it in Toy Story, you even see it in commercials. In an hour and 16 minutes, 1:16:09, there's a scene where Superman, was it Superman or was it Batman? Batman, he comes out the car, the Batmobile comes out of the garage, and he hits the car, and the car flips over. When the car flips over, you hear that slightly. Check that out. And I was like, okay, Wilhelm scream on there. So that to me was like, that gave it an extra point because I found it and it was they threw it in there. And overall, I just wanted to see more Batman versus Superman. I mean, they didn't have to kill each other, obviously, because
they're friends. But yeah, no, I get it. I totally agree with you. Look, in terms of hero, we already explained it. In terms of villain, Lex Luthor to me was the weakest point. In terms of action, I gave it a slightly, I didn't give it a perfect, I gave it a 4 because of that damn warehouse scene with Batman is the best scene in the entire movie, and it's the best Batman sequence ever put on screen. I don't care. It's better than the 1989 ones, all the way up to like where are we gonna go with the new Batman. It
not more than the Batusi.
Not the Batusi. No, no, hell no. Like, oh my God, it's Batman. But I think it's the best warehouse. I mean, that embodies Batman. That whole thing. In terms of storyline, I wasn't too crazy with it. But I kind of understand why they did what they did with it. Overall, I gave it a 4. I thought in terms of introducing Wonder Woman, introducing Ben Affleck to the story, I wish he just got a solo movie instead of throwing them into another movie with other heroes. But I thought it was okay, so I gave it a 4 for great. I thought it was pretty good. And I love Jeremy Irons and Ben Affleck's chemistry. They were really good together.
Alfred,
Alfred was really sarcastic.
Alfred was tired of his ass. He's like,
Yeah.
Alfred has been like, come on, man. Come on, man. You was a teenager. You gave me all kind of hell. Now you're a grown man. Go get a girlfriend, man. Come on, let me get a day off, man. Can I get a day off?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Tired of you, Batman.
I like when he just yelled at him. He goes, "You're going to war with someone you can't win." It's just like he's like, he's not the enemy. But I thought it was pretty cool putting him in his ground. Gave it a 19. You gave it a 19.5. Now the thing I wanted to ask you was, did everyone in the Daily Planet knew that Clark Kent was Superman? Because my man died, right? He died. Right? So he died. You saw Perry White and everybody go to the funeral. And then I'm like, at the same time, they having Superman's funeral. And I'm like, okay. And then we're going to talk about it. The Justice League, he comes back. And then Clark comes back and everyone's cool about it. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, he just gave out the identity to the entire world. Who the hell he was. And I'm like, wait, that's the only thing about this that I was just a little bit like, and it's hard to tell a story with Superman because when you have a secret identity and one disappears and the other disappears, it's kind of obvious that who's who. But in this movie, it was very obvious. It was very obvious. Like, Clark died.
I mean, you figure it's a newspaper. You figure they're working long hours. Listen, cocaine is a hell of a drug, so they're like, oh, okay. All right, I guess that's Superman. Maybe not. Maybe it's Clark Kent. I don't care. I don't care. That's none of my business. I live on the 5th floor.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was funny because I'm like, wait, Perry White goes visit Clark. And, like, how do you explain that shit to people in Justice League that he comes back? Like, I saw you in the casket. Like, how do you explain your resurgence when people saw you get buried? Like, that's the shit that makes me laugh.
Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. You're my boy, Blue.
Exactly. That was Perry White. You're my boy, Clark. You're my boy. But I don't know. I mean, that's just I don't know. Let's just talk about. All right, so this is the other mustache gate. One-on-one, Josh Whedon took over and went all over the place. So, Justice League from 2017. Oh boy! All right, let's just get to it because this is a comical movie. This took away a lot of the tone of what Zack Snyder did, and you could tell the difference between the two directors once you put on this movie. Zack Snyder is more graphic novel style of shooting. Because you can see, right? Like, even in Batman v Superman, he does the Dark Knight cover. When Batman shoots the thing, you see the lightning crash in the back. And I was like, that's awesome. This one was very colorful, very Marvel-ish. A lot of the traits that Zack Snyder did with these characters went right out the window. We got Tony Stark's a.k.a. Bruce Wayne. He was telling jokes, and we were like, what the hell? You got Black Widow / Wonder Woman. She went from being angry and looking all nice, and now all of a sudden she's all happy and let's get this team together. Then you got Spider-Man, aka The Flash, where he's supposed to be a criminal investigation guy. They switched that around. He's now more of a quirky kid, and Aquaman is more Logan he's more Wolverine, which I like. I like that version of Aquaman. I thought that was pretty cool. But Jim, what did you think when you were seeing this 360?
This was, well, you're gonna see my score.
Yeah,
Definitely one of these joints right here.
Oh no, oh
It was just not. It's not a good movie, man. It wasn't good. It was bad. This is how bad it was. First of all, the movie was 2 hours long, right?
Yeah.
Right. And without the credits, is an hour and 47 minutes. I mean, I haven't seen a movie that short since like 1989. Like, especially like this type of movie. If you look at like Zack Snyder's like movies, he takes a little bit of time, and sometimes that may not be a good thing. But I'd rather have more movie than less movie.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
This was just kind of like there was holes in it. And how do you have holes when you have no movie? You know what I mean? Like, I understand if you have a 3-hour movie and you have nothing to do, but you have holes in an hour and 47 minutes. I just was not happy with this movie. This is how bad it was. Like, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this this quote right here.
My Howard is a good man. He's a provider. And these aliens are gonna probe him? Come down to the Lakeview, and I'll stick a probe up your alien. I found him.
That was my favorite part of the movie. And it had nothing to do with Justice League. It was just...
It was thrown like, in there.
Yeah, it was just like, you know what we need? We need some crazy lady on the news so that we can like fill up this hole. It was just like, it just was missing some things. What I gotta say though, the heroes in here, I enjoyed all the heroes. I mean, I know you didn't enjoy the heroes. I enjoyed the heroes. I thought that they played, they mingled really well with each other. The fact that Batman was kind of quirky a little bit. I mean, he wasn't over the top funny. Like, he would just, make his little jokes here and there, and you kind of see the human side of Batman, which you never really see before. Aquaman, listen, he was the prettiest thing in the screen. Like, again, this was for the ladies. I ain't no funny business. This one's for the ladies. Aquaman is a beautiful man. This dude is handsome, beautiful, pretty, gorgeous. Whatever you want to, whatever, this man is it. This guy took the cake.
Yeah.
I know that people hated Cyborg because, he was, half machine and half. This dude was 95% robot. Yeah. Like, the only thing that was not robot was like his just his face, like half of his face. Not that I didn't enjoy it. He almost reminded me of remember Transformers. What's the bad guy's name? Not Starscream. The other guy, the main guy.
Oh, Megatron.
Megatron. That was Megatron. If you look at his suit, they just took Megatron's suit and put a face on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, as far as the heroes, and then and you're right. The fact that you can tell the difference between one and the next when you have the same cast, like, it's not even like a different cast. It's the same cast, the same Superman, same Wonder Woman, same Batman that we've seen, same Aquaman. They introduced Cyborg and the Flash in this one because we really haven't seen them. They introduced them in this one. So again, this was just trash to me. This was like I want to see the real Justice League, please. With a real Justice League, please stand up.
Please stand up.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, look, in terms of honestly, in terms of this movie, we're not gonna go into the whole thing because again, we broke it down. But I was just like, you're right. They did have. I like their chemistry. I thought it was really good. There was a lot of moments that it was pretty cool. Like, I thought them together trying to bring back Superman. And when he does come back and they're all trying to stop Cyborg from shooting him, I thought that was the funniest moment in the movie. They're like, no. He goes, I can't control it. And he just pissed him off. And everybody was like, uh-oh. I thought that was a pretty, like, a light moment. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool if that was Zack Snyder's version, or if I don't know if it is or isn't. We're not going to find out if the scene is back again. But I thought that was really cool. I thought that moment was cool. Bruce Wayne kicking it to Wonder Woman, which I was like, okay, that's pretty cool too. I thought, I mean, everyone will kick it to Wonder Woman. Like, come on.
She just has just a little bit of carne. That's all she needs.
She just need a little bit of carne. That's right. But Ben Affleck was a little chunky. Like, you could tell he was a little chunky in this one than the other one. So I think his alcoholism was kicked in this one, because he said he was dealing with alcoholism during the filming of this, and maybe we find out why, because the movie stunk. He just went right to heat rehab.
He's having a couple of milk and cookies.
Cookies. And that's exactly what he did. Aquaman to me stole the show in this movie. Yeah. He was good. He goes, I dig it. Man in the Bat. I was just like, okay.
Man in the Bat too. Okay. I see.
That's another thing. This movie is the embodiment of tell the whole world who you are. Because this dude was in Alaska and he's like, Bruce Wayne, Batman. And then you see like 10 people surrounding Bruce Wayne and they're talking like nothing. He's like, I dig it. You know, man in the bat. Cool. And I'm like, okay. And then next thing you know, you got in the beginning of the movie.
Did he tell him or did he like guess? Because I mean, if he told them,
no,
like,
he
I'm
did.
Batman, like I'm Batman. You know, if he told them,
I think he told them when the cut scene. Once it cut
because
the scene.
in Gotham, you have people for years not knowing who the hell Batman is, and this dude figured it out in like 3 minutes.
Yeah. No, I think he told him.
He was talking to the Dolphins. He was just like,
Bruce Wayne is Batman.
be like, Dolphins, who is Batman? Oh, Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
You don't say. No.
No, me diga.
When? What? Alfred?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, in the beginning of the movie, it's even worse. Because he's dangling the guy over, right? The parademon come out, right? And then it gets so hilarious. Because the guy is standing there like this, roped, right? And the guy was like, he knew exactly what's happening. He was like, whatever. And then he goes, Alfred, tell me wherever. Next to the bad guy. He's like, wait a minute. The guy could just go, Batman was talking to a guy named Alfred. Who is Alfred? You could Google this shit. It's like Alfred Pennyworth. It's like...
This is like, he said Alfred. Alfred?
That's it, yo, dude.
What? In the mansion?
Yeah, in the mansion.
Stupid.
And then he leaves the bad guy on the roof, chilling like this. That's it. And I was just like, this is embodiment of somebody that rushed to put the movie together. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what this is. And it's so weird. And then the Flash, that was very weird of a scene because he throws the thing and then he's like, you're the Batman? I mean, it's kind of obvious I threw the damn thing at you. But then he's like, I'm putting a team together. Oh, I'll stop you right there. I'm in. And then he's like, oh, just like that? Yeah, I need friends. And I'm like, what?
I need friends.
Like, I was like, oh, that wasn't cool. Cyborg to me, I like because it was a little bit more of a serious turn. And I thought he was a really good cyborg. I thought he was really believable.
Yeah, he was. I liked him. It's the fact that the suit was just a little,
and that's gonna be hard because in the comics he's all like that. So maybe they flesh it out in this version. But you're right. I mean, I thought he was really good and stuff.
Dude, he was a naked robot. Like just
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like he was like if you look at it, if he took all his clothes off, that's all. He's naked. That's a naked robot right there.
Yeah. Right.
Like if they would have kept him with maybe some pantalones on, some pants, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little tank top or something, and just kept it. But like it was just, I don't know. I don't know. That's not Cyborg in the comic books, but sometimes in Hollywood you gotta kind of make it believable. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. That was just my opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got Steppenwolf that looked horrible CGI. Oh my god, they didn't even show Darkseid. So I'm like, wait a minute. So if you erase this man's work that he shot for this movie, and you put 3 mother boxes, he doesn't even become that strong. He was hot. Like he looked horrible. He's like Amazonians. No. He was like the Scooby-Doo villain. It's like Amazonians. Kryptonian.
Shaggy?
Yeah. This Zoink Scoob. We gotta get out of here. Like, Zoinks, Batman. We gotta go.
Shinkies.
Yeah, Jinkies. Like, that was him. Like, every time he saw, like, Kryptonian, Zoinks. Like, and I was just like, yeah. That's not going to work for me. But yeah, let's just throw out the scores because let's see how horrible, if it is horrible that we gave this. We tied.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how sad it is that we tied. This is our first tied.
The villain. Steppenwolf has to be the worst villain, period. Right? Like if this was like a like a ass whooping contest. You know what I'm saying? Where they have to have like a main card. Like Steppenwolf would not be on the main card. Steppenwolf would be an undercard fighting like, I don't know, like a 12-year-old. Like he was just not believable. Obviously he wasn't real, but he was not believable as a villain. He was like they didn't really show him doing much other than like, the first scene, like he got the first mother box, and then the second scene got the second mother box. But even those scenes, the first mother box scene was about it was 3 minutes long, and I thought it was actually, when I saw that, after 24 minutes, that's when we had to get the first scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so 24 minutes in. Again, this movie is only 2 hours long, so you're talking about 25% of the movie gone, and now it's only going to get the first like scene, and then the next scene is another underwater, another 2-minute scene. So whenever they showed him being a bad guy, it was like very short. And I get it, the CGI, so you really can't do a lot with him, but it was just like they didn't give me enough. They didn't give me enough bad guy for this. Like there was a bad guy because there had to be. But you could have kept it like, one of those movies that you don't see the bad guy to the very end. Like when they first made It back in the days, you didn't see It to the very last movie. You didn't even see what he looked like or whatever. He could have been the Fog. He could have been anybody. Like I don't know. He could have been, whatever. He was just a terrible, terrible villain.
And he had no goal. I feel like, what was the goal of it though? Getting 3 mother boxes, because I felt like he just got all 3, and I'm like, is there gonna be something crazy that's gonna happen? We didn't get to see Darkseid. I thought the 3 mother boxes bring out Darkseid, and that didn't even happen. He was just, I was like, okay, so he's just a garbage. They just threw it on screen, like, okay, here you go. This is your villain, and let's just flop this movie because.
And then how he dies. Like,
they
break his scepter, and then that's it. Then the parademons start whooping him. Like I don't know. Maybe I missed something, but I just was like,
no, you didn't miss it. You didn't miss nothing.
I did not. I know that there was rumors that at some point that Zack Snyder was going to do like a Legion of Doom type thing. Maybe that needs to happen. You need to build some bad guys, because I mean the bad guys, all the bad guys through all these 3 movies, they would. I mean, I know this wasn't a Zack Snyder bad guy, but just the bad guys are not strong. They're not strong. I'm not buying it. Honestly, not with this one.
The only one that was strong was General Zod. Like, I mean, if you really look at all 3 of them, he had a goal, which was bring Krypton to the planet Earth. Like, that was his main purpose. And he was killing dudes. Like, it wasn't that. Like, Lex Luthor, I don't know what the hell he was trying to accomplish with him taking. Like, Lex Luthor knew again, and that's another plot hole.
Lex Luthor blew up the whole Capitol, though, man. He did. He put a little crippled dude on his wheelchair and just blew up the whole Capitol. That's ruthless right there.
No,
he didn't care.
Well, that he did, but the problem that I had was Lex Luthor knew everybody's secret identity. He knew the Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman was Bruce Wayne, and I'm like, so no one else knew this? Like, he figured it out. No one else can figure it out. Like, the dude had files of people's security footages of them. And I was just like, and to me, that's like, okay, so if he knew it, so why don't he just tell everybody in Gotham and Metropolis that, there you go? I mean, that's the thing. Again, it's just so weird. But this movie, yeah, I mean, I gave the villains a 3 because I thought the parademons looked really well. It looked really good. I was like, okay, those were good. And that's the only reason. Other than that, the storyline was I gave it a 3. And then overall it was a 3. And I was just like, honestly, this is the weakest one out of all 3 of the movies. But
and that Russian family, I get it. Like they have to show whatever, but the Russian family was there just kind of like for what? Like again, there was just something to throw in. Like again, the old lady that was just talking about her husband, and now you have this Russian family who's like they show them like 4 or 5 times, and to get rescued, you don't got to show me the family, just rescue them.
Yeah.
I don't got to see them for that. I don't want to see that. Just rescue them.
Yeah, they put them there because of fear. They were feeding off the fear of the family locked in the house, which I was like, stupid. Let's see. Parsi, Dinozo. Hopefully, I'm saying it right. Sorry. Cyborg actor. Huh? I know I didn't.
You did it.
What is it? You know it? Say it. What's the actual pronunciation?
Perico.
No.
Percy Perico.
Percy. You're an idiot. Cyborg actor has nothing good to say about Whedon and how he treated people. Same with Buffy Angel actors from back in the day. But unlike this movie, I like Whedon's work on Buffy. Yeah, Buffy and Angel, those are his best work. Firefly, I like Firefly too. And you can say whatever one about Avengers and whatever. He did catapult that team up movie to what it is now. But yeah, in terms of DC, he just sucks as a director for DC. Let's see what we got. C-Book. What do you call it again? C-Boy? C-Boogie.
C-Boogie.
C-Boogie says, what? Wayne Tower, he started laughing. Samuel Colon said, if it wasn't for you mentally kids, then Samuel also said, I think the movie would have been better if they had a recruitment scene after an origin movie for each Justice League character. Then the Justice League movie would have been all about Darkseid. And then C-Boogie says, rushed.
What?
Da 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 da, baby. Rushed. Rushed, the best way to describe it. See, Boogie says. Transformer Cut says, hopefully the Snyder Cut is good. I saw some leaks. It's looking promising. That's another thing, guys. They are leaking a lot of footages. They are starting to put up photos. I am trying to stay away from all that.
What about that 1 hour? That 1 hour mistake?
Yeah,
that they did. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, wink, wink. Someone got fired, but yeah, that's crazy that someone leaked the first hour of Justice League during the Tom and Jerry premiere. So people got to see the first hour, but promising everyone that saw the first hour said it's a really good movie. That 1 hour that they saw. So maybe hopefully that's a good thing or a bad thing. I haven't seen nothing bad about it, except those haters out there that's gonna hate everything. But again, you can take it from a grain of salt and see what happens with Justice League this weekend. So, Jim, what do you like to say before we sign off?
Man, this was fun, and I want to thank everybody in the chat, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm gonna be watching this Snyder Cut, bro. I brought out the old underoos from when I was a kid. I mean, they're a little tight because I've gained about like 100 pounds, but I'm gonna have the underoos on. Yeah. Watching it with the yeah, I know when you're not paying no attention.
Huh?
What?
No, I heard what you said with your underoos. I heard your underoos. You'll be watching with your underoos.
With my underoos with pockets.
With pockets.
With pockets. So yeah, before we go, man, again, I thank you guys for being patient with me. I'm gonna tell you this much. I'm not a white knight. I'm not. You know, I want to see good things coming from DC. So sometimes I'm not going to like say nice things about the DC. And sometimes I will say nice things about DC. But again, this is all opinions. So you know, I'm open to all opinions, and I'm welcome that. As a matter of fact, I welcome the opinions. Good morning, Gotham. Again, we're gonna bring you all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Check us out. We are on Instagram. Hashtag the Bat Memes. Put that on your hashtags on Instagram so we can see what's going on. If you have anything that, you know, leaks or rumors or something that just looks, you know, DC, toys, whatever, let us know. Because again, you know, there's only me and Alex, two pair of eyes, and that's much research that we could do. Alex is busy. I work all the time. But, you know, if you see something like Jose, right? Yeah, Jose.
Yeah.
He sent us a fan movie, fan made movie of Batman, and watched it. It's pretty dope. So if you have anything like that, just set it out for us, man.
Yeah, so episode 2, let you guys know we're going to be talking about the first six chapters of Hush. So, guys, if you want to go, you guys got 2 weeks from now. You guys can go pick it up or get the digital. There's a DC Infinite digital for platforms of Apple, Android. You could read it on your phone. You can watch it on your iPad. You can read it, or you could get the physical copy like Jimmy is holding. You want to join in on the conversation? We're gonna be talking about that, and of course, once we finish all that, we're gonna watch the animation version of the film and then start comparing, contrasting. But the next episode, we're gonna be talking about Hush, first 6. Like I said, the first 6 chapters, and then we're gonna be talking about that the fan film that came out. I'm gonna watch it, and then we're gonna break it down for you guys and see it's actually really good for you guys to check out. and some more other stuff we'll plan out. But yeah, look, this was a great first episode. Again, thank everybody for joining us early in the morning. Jay Manley, Samuel, Parsi. What's up? What you guys say?
Yeah. Just if you haven't followed me yet, I'm BX Lenny's on all platforms. We have a podcast on all platforms. This is the first time pretty much I do this on video. So Al, thank you very much for trusting me with your baby. Levels of Geeks, and again I appreciate that. Again, it's BX Lenny's, BXLENNYZ with a Z. Obviously Z, right?
Yeah, I put the description.
What, with a C?
With a Z? Yeah, I put his description in the down below so you guys could check it out. So with that said, look, thank you so much, Samuel, Jay, Parsi, Jay Boogie, Percy. I'm like, whatever, man.
Percy Perico.
Transformer Con. Everybody that joined in, thank you so much, and everyone that's gonna catch the replay. Jonathan McCoy, thank you so much. Ralph for joining in. Jessica Cologne. Let me see, Michael Guzman. I think Tony Movie Chappie. Again, thank you guys for joining in today. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the notifications, because we're going to be going live this whole week. Levels of Geeks will return again Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Me and Nate, it's going to be on. So we're going to have some fun. So other than that, we'll catch you guys at another morning. So good morning, Gotham, to everybody. Be awesome to each other. And geek out.
Geek out, baby.